as we await the court's decision this morning with anti-Israel protester Mahmoud Khalil, President Trump said yesterday the arrest and pending deportation will be the first of many. Take a listen.
I think we ought to get them all out of the country. They're troublemakers. They're agitators. They don't love our country. We ought to get them the hell out. I think that guy, we ought to get him. I heard his statements, too. They were plenty bad. And I think we ought to get him the hell out of the country. I watched him. I watched tapes. Specifically, I watched tapes. And you can have them, okay? You can have them. And you can have the rest of them. Let them go to school. Let them learn. Columbia used to be a good school. Now it's been overrun because of bad leadership.
And as we know, Democrats have taken the side of the pro-Hamas protester, sending a letter to Secretary Kristi Noem calling the arrest an illegal abduction and referring to Khalil as a political prisoner. Joining me now for more on this is former acting secretary for the Department of Homeland Security and executive director and chair of the Center for Homeland Security and Immigration at AFPI, Chad Wolf. Great to see you this morning, Chad. So Khalil, as we know, remains here in the U.S. after a judge blocked his deportation order until he makes his case in court. Do you think we'll actually see him deported? And why is this so important to the Trump administration to start these deportations?
Well, I think it's important because the American people over the last couple of years have seen a number of these students on college campuses come out in support of Hamas, which is a terrorist organization designated by the United States. And so the Secretary of State, under the Immigration and Nationality Act, has the ability to revoke green cards, has the ability to remove individuals from this country that are adverse to our foreign policy goals. It's very clearly stated. Obviously, this is going to be decided in a court of law. But I think what the left is upset about is that the Trump administration is actually enforcing the law. They're basing this on provisions of that Immigration and Nationality Act, and they don't like it. You know, they don't like the fact that the Trump administration is actually enforcing immigration law, which we've seen them do over these past 6 weeks. And that's what they're upset about. And again, they're going to take the side of a foreign national than they will the side of other Americans on these college campuses.
Yeah, we've interviewed and spoken with many of those Jewish students who don't even feel safe walking to class. As you said, Democrats have been standing side by side with this pro-Hamas student. Take a listen to what the vice chair of the DNC, David Hogg, had to say.
Donald Trump is trying to shut down young people and stop us from speaking out because he, like all other authoritarians, believe that they have to shut down freedom of speech, freedom of expression, so that they can rule like a king. In this country, we don't bow to kings.
That was nice. What do you make of his comments there, Chad?
Well, let's be clear about this, right? There's always freedom of expression. Obviously, we have that right here in the United States. But when it goes beyond that, when you start espousing the views of a terrorist organization, you start distributing pamphlets of a terrorist organization, that's when the bridge is too far. And that's when the United States government, in this case, both the State Department and the Department of Homeland Security, has to step in to protect other students on these campuses. And so it's not just a matter of, this individual's out there, just saying things that are maybe unpopular. He's taking that next step to say and endorse and promote Hamas, again, a terrorist organization designated by the United States. And that's a bridge too far, and I think that will be upheld in a court of law.
Information. Truth is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.